Hi, Assalamu alaikum, welcome back. Today's recipe is a chocolate cake, which is all kids' favorite. So instead of preparing a normal chocolate cake, I decided to make a German chocolate cake. It's not the classic recipe, but with a slight changes. So let's begin. So firstly, preparing a chocolate cake which is very soft and tasty. You can even turn out this chocolate cake recipe to cupcakes. So for that we need 4 medium-sized eggs and then butter, that's 150 grams at room temperature. Next, with the dry ingredients, I am taking here 1 cup of all-purpose flour, half cup of cocoa powder, that's 50 grams of cocoa powder, and then 2 teaspoons of baking powder. To the softened butter, add 1 cup of powdered sugar. And now we need to beat them until creamy. I try to mix the sugar and the butter together once and then try to on the mixer, else the sugar will start to spread all over your counter. Now start to add the eggs one by one. After adding one egg, beat for 1 minute and then add the next. Do not add all the eggs all at one time. In between you can add 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, which I have forgot to show here. Now all the 4 eggs are well mixed. Now it's time to add the dry ingredients. Along with the dry ingredients, I will be also adding 1 cup of full fat milk, which is at room temperature. Now the cake batter is ready. Transfer it into a baking tray and then bake at 180 degrees for 45 minutes until a skewer inserted comes out clean. Now the chocolate cake is ready. Allow it to cool for 10 minutes and then transfer it into a wire rack and then cool. Next we are going to melt 150 grams of dark chocolate. Using double boiling method, make sure that the bowl doesn't touch the water. To the chocolate, add 1 cup of heavy cream and mix together. When the chocolate is completely melted, remove from flame and allow to cool. Now this chocolate mixture has to be refrigerated for at least 2 hours. Now to make this chocolate cake a German chocolate cake, we need to give a coconut and nut filling. For that I am using here 1.5 cups of desiccated coconut. Now on the flame and then we need to dry roast this until they are slightly brown. Now the coconut is well roasted. Now remove from flame. Now to the same pan we are going to add half cup of cashews and 1/4 cup of almonds. We need to dry roast them also. When the nuts are well roasted, remove from flame. Next we are going to add half cup of hazelnut. Also dry roast them. Now the next step is we need to take 1 can of evaporated milk. Next add 1 egg yolk, 3 tablespoons of condensed milk. Mix the ingredients well. Next add half cup of milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, and then mix them all well. Now cook this milk mixture on very low flame until it will slightly thicken and the egg yolks are completely cooked. Now the egg mixture is slightly warm. When it's still warm, we are going to add the crushed nuts. Here I have crushed all the 3 nuts. Just reserve 3 to 4 tablespoons for garnish. Remaining all we're going to add to the milk. Also add the desiccated coconut, reserving few tablespoons for garnish. Now mix these ingredients well, and now we have to keep these ingredients in the fridge to cool. You can either keep it in the freezer for at least 10 to 15 minutes. If you're keeping it in the refrigerator, then it should be for at least 1 hour. Now continuing with the chocolate frosting, we have taken the chocolate from the fridge, which we have kept aside to cool. Now beat them until it forms into soft peaks. Now to another bowl, I'm going to take here 1.5 cups of whipping cream, which is sweetened. I'm going to beat them until soft peaks. Next step is to mix these 2 creams together. We don't need to overbeat them, else it will curdle. So slightly mix. Now the chocolate frosting is ready. Let's start to assemble the cake. I have divided the cake into 3 layers. As this cake is already moist, I am not going to sprinkle any sugar syrup. So directly pipe the cream onto the border. Now it's time to add the yummy filling. Add the filling and then spread evenly. Now continue the same with all the 3 layers. Now to clean the board, you can dip the tissue in hot water and then clean the sides. While the cake is getting cold in the fridge, I'm going to melt some chocolate, that is dark chocolate, just to give a wrap as a decoration for the cake. It's my first time to try a wrap. Onto a baking paper or butter paper, spread the chocolate as shown, and then immediately cover the cake with it and then refrigerate. Next I have piped some flowers and then also sprinkling the nuts and the coconut which we have kept aside. I have mixed them together and then decorated on the top. So the tasty German chocolate cake is ready. Make sure that you refrigerate it at least 2 hours before serving. So do try out and serve to your loved ones. Keep watching. Take care. Bye.